Well, first up, I just want to say it's pretty nuts how much you've grown your business, and I tell people about it, but like I forget how many months it's been exactly. So real quick, just remind me how many months it's been since we've been doing this.
Well, we started in June, right?
Yeah, I thought so. I thought it was like June, July.
So what are we at? Pull out old reliable. 9 months?
Okay,
Yeah,
9 months.
9 months.
So tell me and break down a little bit of like where you were at with your business before we started, and then where you're at with your business now.
So when we started, it was kind of getting into mid Q2 of last year.
Mhm.
Q1, I sold around 600,000 in real estate. Q1 of this year, I'm going to be selling 4 million in real estate, and that's been exponential growth so far. I say we've done at least $10 million over the 9 months in production easily.
And what were you doing before on like a daily
I
basis? Like what did your business look like?
it was well, what we started doing together was we really ramped up our prospecting, right? Which we were prospecting through open houses. At the time, I was doing way less. I was posting more like kind of cringy content on social media, kind of just following people around. And it wasn't until I had conversations with you where it's like, okay, like the most productive activity that I do is sitting open houses. We need to sit more open houses. And then you also introduced your 100 point week, and that really got my day more structured. So we were focused on follow up, prospecting, adding people into our CRM, and being consistent with content as well.
Right. So
Yeah.
before, would you say like systems were pretty dialed, or did you say, or would you think like systems became more dialed as time, went on with
Systems
what we were
became
doing?
way more dialed. I need a Payson because I'm not a very organized person.
You're hilarious. And what would you say like the first thing that you implemented with what we were doing, where you're like, okay, this is going to be different than what I'm used to seeing or what I've been seeing?
So it was when I started doing the 100 point week and I was getting consistently 100 points every single week. All of a sudden, I started closing a lot more deals from my open houses. So I had referrals. I had, at the time, like my team giving me leads. And then I started, like, I think June, I closed two people from open houses. Then July, I closed three people from open houses. And then it kind of just kept scaling up. December was my best month so far. I had 9 deals in escrow at one point. It was like
Yeah,
3.5 million under contract at one time.
that's nuts. And so all your escrows that you've been doing, I mean, most of them are open houses, right? But like, are
Forty
you paying?
percent of every single deal comes from 40% of all my deals are open houses at this point.
Yeah, which is massive. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
It's also we also really dialed in on making sure I'm getting reviews and dialing in on getting referrals from clients. So now a lot of my business is actually coming from referrals as well in my sphere. But 40%, yeah, is still all open houses.
Yeah, it's nuts. Okay, so
Yeah.
you've been doing this now with me for 9 months. What do you think like this year is going to look like? Now you're coming into, essentially a full year and even into,
Yeah. So
just past a year.
June of 2026 will be my officially like my second year end, right? But this year for 2026, my plan is to sell 20 million. That's what I'm quarter one is always a little slower, so I'm a little under that. Um under underpaced by maybe a million in volume. But yeah, no, the plan is to do 20 million.
And 20 million is how many units in your market? Because someone listening to this may think 20 million is either a whole lot or they may think it's not a lot. So how
It's
many
gonna
is
end
that in
up
units?
being 50 between 50 and 75 units
Okay.
for sure.
And do you feel like you have the structure and systems in place to handle the 50 to 75 just yet, or do you think that's a work in progress?
It's kind of a work in progress. We just keep, we know that we can do 9 escrows at once, which is good, which is what you
Yep.
really need. So it's just keep dialing in the systems. But the most valuable thing that I do that we're really focused on right now is prospecting. You know. So this week I have 6 open houses scheduled. So it's
Yeah.
hitting those targets to reach your prospecting hours, and that's what allows me to succeed right now in this business. Right now, every 5 open houses I sign a client, and every 10 I have a closing
Yeah, that's incredible. Do you have any
for
more
2020.
numbers that you have on that off the top of your head with open houses?
Do you want me to share my screen with you and show you?
Yeah, you can share your screen.
All right, because I track all of this.
Go for it.
So what I care about is how many open houses it takes me to sign a client. So I need to update this still. But so far this year, we set 28 open houses and we signed 6 clients. I actually just got another closing. So I got to update that. What's today's date? Today's March
Today's the
4th.
4th.
Cool. Yeah. So at 5 open houses per signed client, 10 open houses per closing for 2026 right now.
There you go. And
So yeah,
when you started doing open houses, like, did you change anything? Were you doing anything different? Because were you sitting them even before it all, or were you not sitting them at all?
I was sitting like 1 to 2 a weekend. That was the problem. We just weren't doing enough. But you also helped me get more dialed. So we focused. We first thing we did was we ordered the huge signs. They stick out like a sore thumb in the road. We did script
Yeah,
practice. We did follow up practice, and then we also implemented like that off market binder strategy. So I bring an off market binder to every open house, and that has also allowed me uh, to increase my conversion rate. On top of that, while I was with you, I also acquired my first investment property, which was pretty exciting.
yeah,
Um,
that's sick.
so it's been great. Like in business and investing, started the title company. Everything has been very, very good.
Yeah, you're moving along. When you do your open houses now, like, I'm imagining you feel pretty confident, right? But like when I talk to a lot of people, and even when I first started doing the open houses, a lot of people would say like, "Hey, I've never met anyone that's consistently closed deals off of open houses." What do you
Mhm.
think when you're in the open house? What are you doing different right now than what other people probably are doing?
The key is question-based selling, and it's also disarming people when they walk into the open house. So when they walk into the open house, they think you're just there to sell them that house, and it's helping them understand like, no, I'm here to help you whether it's purchasing this house or not. One of the go-to lines that I use that we, have worked together is number one, asking them like, well, where'd you guys find the open house? Are you guys a neighbor or are you just shopping around? And then I also tell them like, look, like I'm not the seller or the listing agent. I'm doing them a favor right now. They're my friends. So you're not hurting my feelings if you don't like this house. And that really disarms them and setting up the conversation with those lines, you're gonna have a really good conversation. You're there coming from a point of value.
There you go. I think a lot of people like they tried open houses a few times, and then they realize it doesn't work, and then they
Yeah.
just give up on it. Kind of like they do with prospecting or door knocking, cold calling,
The
whatever it is.
reality the reality is I think they just don't do enough. Like during our coaching, I did 100 open houses in 100 days. I copied you. I almost did as good as you.
How did you do again?
I did. I ended up closing 15 units so far from the 100 because I've had
There you go.
during the challenge I only did like 13, but
Okay.
I had more deals closed after the challenge. I just didn't
Right.
document it because the challenge was over.
Right. That was how mine was 15 during, but then because of the challenge and continually doing them, I did 36 in 6 months, which is just nuts.
Right.
Like
That's
that's
insane.
That's life changing. Like, and that's what's so
Yeah.
cool about it's cool, like seeing like what I've now done and then like seeing someone else go and replicate it and do it exactly as like I did it and then get really similar results and be able to, you know, you're you just turned 21 and you just bought your first investment property. Like you are a part owner in a title company now. You sold 31 units last year, right? Was what it was? Or 32?
36.
Oh, my bad. You sold 36 units last year
Yeah.
at
Well,
20 years old.
2025, I did close to 11 million in volume
Right.
at 20. Yeah.
36 units, close to 11 million volume. Like that's nuts. So if before we wrap up, is there anything else you'd say about what we've done together? Anything else you want to mention?
One of the most valuable things that is often overlooked that you've given me is peace of mind in my business, because we know that real estate is kind of this emotional roller coaster. You know, you have some months are really good, and then some months you make no money. But through our coaching and through our consistent prospecting, I now have kind of a map, and I understand the math where I'm every single month it's less. There's less swings. It's more
Less peaks and
consistent.
valleys. Yeah,
Exactly. And there's a lot more growth. And that's just because we focused on tracking our numbers and being consistent. And that has given me so much peace of mind in this business and allows me to just do what I love.
that's it. I think the most important thing is like building the framework and actually building out the business piece of it, right? So that way it becomes like a machine that's constantly going instead of you chasing because you're like, oh shit, I haven't had something close, in X
Right.
amount of months. I need a deal. So I think that's the whole thing is like making it toward it is a true system and machine that grows with you instead of you constantly trying to chase just the next deal.
I agree.
Well, sick. Thank you, man. Appreciate your time.
Yeah. Thanks.